I'm down at the Cannes Yachting Festival and they've got the brand new Prestige X70 down here. Now this is a fascinating boat, so much so that it's permanently full of people. And normally I'd think, well, okay, perhaps we won't bother, but this is so interesting. I really want to show it to you. There's so much innovative thinking on this, it's unbelievable. Starting back here, you've got the high-low platform, of course. This folds away, so that goes up to be a flush transom, or comes down, as you can see it now, to make a seat here, which is a lovely place to be connected to the water at. But where it gets fascinating is up here, because this is based on the same hull as the Prestige 690, which is the boat next to us, but the differences are enormous. Look at the length of the cockpit in that boat, and now look at the size of the cockpit in this one, right the way back to there. It's about 50% of the length of the main deck up to the helm position. It is vast. As I say, there are a lot of people on here, so I'm going to have to be a little bit discreet about how I film this. They do all know that we are filming it, however. So this area here, you can have that further back if you want to, and have these seats facing inwards, and have a table out here for dining. It depends how you specify the boat. There's a lot of owner specification in this, so you might be certain things where you think, well, I wouldn't have it like that. Well, that's fine, you can change it. This is, I think I'm right in saying, the biggest boat they build, so it's very much their flagship. Now, another interesting point is, look at the side decks on the 690. You see where the side of the cabin comes through, and you come out and you can walk up through. Now look at this. There are none. There are no side decks. I'll explain that in a little more detail when we go further forward, because you still can get forward. What that means is you get a lot more width through here and a lot more width in the saloon itself. And what they've done with the saloon is they've made this all freestanding furniture. You can choose whatever you want. They can fit this out how you want. You could even say, well, actually now I've got some really nice domestic furniture that I like the look of, and have that put in. This one has been done with no internal dining. You can have it if you want to, as I say, that's very much owner specification again, as is things like this feature panel across here, all illuminated. It's all done in wood. Some people like it, some people don't. You can choose whether or not to have that kind of thing. We'll head on forward on the main deck. Now, Prestige normally put the galley aft on their boats. On this one, they put it up here in the centre. They made a real centrepiece of it, actually. And again, it makes for such a sociable area right the way across here. You've got massive Miele fridge freezer. You've obviously got your cooking in here. Various bits of storage about the place. And over here, this is quite neat. There's a built-in Dyson mounted there, ready to use. I think that's a good idea. You don't often see that cleaning on a boat, but it's something that you need. We'll head forward again. This is the helm position. Look how it's got forward sloping windows. Everything on this boat is so different to what we're normally used to from Prestige. It is a remarkable thing. So helm position is here. You've got places for you to come and sit and enjoy the ride. And you've also got an access door here that takes you straight out and onto the foredeck. We're going to come back to the deck areas. They're probably the most interesting part of the whole boat, but we'll finish the interior first of all while we have a reasonably free run at it. So we'll head round here first of all. This takes us down to the master cabin. I love these steps because they're so open as they come down. It's not like step, 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 step. It's the step and then a length and a step and a more length. You don't feel like you'd ever tumble down these. That's brilliant. And then this takes us into the master cabin. They've really tried to raise the detailing of things like, look at the way they've put these leather upholstered slats on here just to give this nice finish as you come into this room. And the same with the way they finished off around the bed, the really thick carpets. They've really gone to town on this one. This here as well, they've upped the woodwork in places like this. That's all really lovely quality. You've got storage all the way around here. You've got a nice view out from here. I think I mentioned we're in Cannes. Let's have a little look. Yeah, there we go, look at that. It's a beautiful place. One of my favourite places in the world is Cannes. It's nice to be back here. So that is the master cabin. Somewhere to tuck yourself away with a good book. And then of course up here it's got its own ensuite. So you've got your toilet. Again, you can see the lifting quality of things like this Corian surface on here. And you've got the shower in here as well, of course. So that is the master cabin. This is the dressing area, and you've got big walk-in wardrobe like that. Let's head on back while the going is good. This is a really busy boat. I wasn't sure I'd be able to get to film it, but I was so desperate to bring it to you because I was fascinated by it. So across over this side, this is very similar to the 690. So what you have down here is a VIP cabin aft. That is in here, like so. Nice dressing table. You've got wardrobe, and a load of storage. I'm going to keep moving reasonably quickly through this one while they're going as good as I say. Ensuite over on this side. We're still going to cover every area, of course. And then you've got the shower in there. And then we come on round and 2 cabins here, exactly the same. So you've got twin, move across, twin. Now what you can have is just one big VIP cabin right the way across. That gives you a 3 cabin layout. This is a 4 cabin layout, and that has its own ensuite. With this, neither of these has an ensuite. They both share the date heads, and that is in through here. So toilet down there, and then a separate shower in through here. There we go. Lights are up at the minute. Where's the switch? There we go. Ta-da! Okay. Let's press on. I've got to show you this deck area, and we might just get lucky with a lack of people. As I say, we have told people we're filming on here though, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem anyway. We can't get around the side of the boat to the foredeck, so the side decks go over the top. Check this out. We go up here, and there's your side deck running back down. So this is what gives the full beam in the saloon. It's what makes it so absolutely massive. And we'll carry right the way on through here. And this then takes us down, so if you want to put fenders on, that kind of thing, you can see how you do that from up here. And you can see the difference it makes when you look at the boat next to it. As I say, it's based on the same hull. You can imagine how much you lose by those. And this means you've got it all for your accommodation, which of course is what a lot of people want. They just want as much space as they can possibly get on board. Let's head right on down to the bow. You can have some beds on here if you want. This owner has chosen to go for this just completely open. And it's actually quite a nice big area up on here, the way they've sort of squared it off at the bow. Similar to the 690, which of course it would be, because as I say, they're based on the same hull. But they're a very, very different boat, as you can see. Let's go back down this side, because what we've got down here is the doorway that goes back into the helm position, but we can go past that and they've got another side deck. So the side decks are still there, they're just raised. And in return for that, as I say, you get that massive saloon and cockpit area. Now up here we're going to try and be a little bit discreet with the filming, but you've got a completely open area back here, so you can have these sun lounges, you could have more seating here if you want to, you can use that however you wish. And if we go on around here, you've got a table and you've got the helm position at the front, but I think we're going to have to admit defeat on that one. It's a bit busy, there's a lot going on, but you get the idea. And obviously if you have a look at the brochure, in fact I'll see if I can get a photograph and inlay that so we can get a better look, but I think we're doing pretty well considering I didn't think we were going to get this one at all. Let's go and check out the crew areas and the engines, because that's about all we've got left to do. So we're back down here, back past this. I love this water level seating area. I think it'd be such a nice place to be. And we come right over onto this side and head down here. Okay, I haven't been in here yet, so I'm not sure what to expect, but what I've found is toilet in here and a shower, and what looks like, and it's not a sliding door, there we go, it opens there like that. So that is that area. A lot of these boats, you've got to bear in mind, will be owner run, they won't be crewed at all. Washing machine is in here as well, but if you do have crew, then you do have space for them in here. So this has got bunk beds, and the bottom bed, as you can see, is laid out to a double, or you can use it as 2 singles, because a lot of these boats are run by a couple. So you might have a chap and his wife who he's the captain and she's the stewardess, something like that. So the double bed facility is really nice. And the last thing to see then is the engine. So you've got a big bulkhead door here. See the difference that makes. And this is the engine space. IPS 1350s in this one. These are 1,000 horsepower each, and they're a pod drive. So the actual pods are back down underneath here and then go down underneath the boat, of course. Big engine space, a load of headroom, but really a load of headroom. I can only just reach the ceiling. And then in here you have things like the generator and the stabilisation system, the gyro stabiliser, fuel filters, all the usual bits and pieces you'd expect to find. Now, performance on this one, you're looking at about 25 knots with these engines, cruising at about 20 knots. And the range then about 350 miles at that 20 knot cruising speed. Drop the speed back to displacement, as I always say, you'll get an awful lot further, but at 20 knots, that's the sort of distance you can expect from it. And then there's also a ladder down here, so you've got another way out straight up until the cockpit. So that is a little bit of a whistle-stop tour, and I hope you'll forgive me for that, but you can see why I really, really wanted to bring this one to you, despite the fact it was full of people. Normally I would have just gone, okay, well, we'll leave that one and move on, but no, you had to see this, because it would be really hard to explain otherwise. Okay, let's come out of here. And I'm going to finish off on this wonderful seat. There we go, down at water level, and say huge thanks to Prestige for organising that and getting me on and telling everybody we were coming filming, so that was all allowed. And huge thanks, of course, to you guys for watching. We'll catch you on another one of these very soon, but in the meantime, do let me know what you think of this. It's very different, it's very customer focused in terms of what people want, space, that kind of thing, and it'd be really interesting to see what your thoughts are. So I will look in the comments and I'll catch up with you on another film very soon. Take care, bye-bye.